have you been on a helicopter before?
No, never before.
Oh, love it. Everybody first time.
Awesome. Hey, do it again. How is it? Is it good?
It's awesome.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really easy.
Super
smooth. Amazing.
Here we go. So your helicopter basically, unlike obviously like a fixed wing, it's beating the air to move.
You can really feel it when you're waiting for the helicopter to come back down.
Oh yeah, right. It's a lot of power.
Is it how you'd imagine it would be from making the film? The same sort of experience.
No, it's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty smooth, and it's pretty. What was great about having helicopters in the film, adding them to the mix from the fixed wing aircraft that were in the first film, is the flight is so much different that it actually allowed us to stage things in a really different way. So, there's a fire right there.
We're only going as far as Mansfield.
So, like, there's a scene where Dusty's flying, he's done something wrong, and Blade gets to fly next to him. So, but because they're a helicopter, you can actually tilt sideways and fly and actually look at him. Versus fixed wing, we're kind of, you have to fly straight. You can't look at each other. You can't toe in or bang. So so getting the helicopter flight in there. And that's why at the very beginning of the film we went out and flew with a gentleman by the name of Chuck Aaron. Chuck Aaron's probably the top stunt helicopter pilot in the world, and it was a coincidence. He was a friend of mine, and so we got together with him, and he took us up in his helicopter and we did some stunts in it, which was pretty crazy. But then ultimately he became our helicopter consultant, and all the flight was vetted through him.
And that's so important in this world for planes, is that because it's a lot of work to get animated flight to look right. Because if it doesn't, it's really easy for planes and helicopters to look like they're sliding across the air, that they really have to look like they're moving and doing the aerodynamics that actually airplane or helicopter would do. Because if it doesn't, you're going to catch it. No matter how old you are, you'll see that and you'll immediately be taken out of the movie because of it. So that's really important. Again, just how we brought the truth and reality to our firefighting. It's just it all starts though with the truth and believability in our flight.
And our sets are enormous, because you can see how far you can see, obviously.
Yeah.
So when we build the sets, we have to build, they're enormous, because we're going about 135 miles per hour right now. So you're going to eat up a lot of landscape that way. And in our movie, when our planes are flying, they are flying at the accurate speed for them to be flying. So we eat through a lot of sets, so we had to build a huge set, like the national park. I think it was about 7 miles long virtually, and had 2.5 million trees in it to get it to be right, because it's flying by a lot of stuff. It's massive.
Yeah, it is massive.
It's a big undertaking.
Yeah. So that's something you have to really carefully plan, because you only want to build what is absolutely necessary, and everything you build is going to have different levels of accuracy, of detail, because obviously things that are far away, like these trees, would be not quite as crisp as the ones with close-up trees. So you want to always save time and money by only building what is absolutely necessary.
Yeah, but it's all built out. We don't paint out the back. The back usually it's usually all built out, and but as you can see, there's the atmosphere. It's another thing, you want to get your lighting right. If this were all just perfectly clear, it would look fake. Sometimes things in real life almost look fake, and you actually have to sort of cheat a little bit, because you make it look too accurate, it almost doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So you have to get it to look what feels right. But like all the atmosphere in the air today that we have to make sure that there's that natural fall off of light, gets very blue. You lose the greens, and then it becomes blue. That's all our art director making sure it's lit the way you naturally, kind of instinctually feel something would look. So when we're making the movie, it's like you go through every scene with all that in your head: the animation, the color, the lighting, the acting, the story, the script. It took us, I don't know if we had spoken about that, but the film took 4 years to make. And we spent a year just doing research and forming the story before we start production, and continue to work the story all during production.
It's easy to forget as someone watching it how much work goes into the detail Oh, it is. Every single detail. Well, I mean, and just look again at the landscape. I mean, all the different shades of colors on the grass and different in the different pastures and fields. And there's there's
even
probably
the dead grass, but some green, and you have to work all that in, or it'll start just to feel like a patchwork quilt or something. And
especially in the film where the fire is taken its toll and the landscape changes so much.
Right, the dead trees.
Yeah.
But if we were doing something from this, we would definitely look at the way the lawnmowers cut the grass here.
Yeah.
And not just like, oh, we'll just make a circle, but get that texture into it. It's a lot of work, but it's fun actually. Doing all those details. That's a lot of people sort of really get into it.
And it must be so satisfying once it's done and you see it in the finished product. And
yeah, it takes a long time to get to that.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for your time today, guys.
Oh,
real pleasure to meet you.
Good job. First helicopter flight.
Yes.
Awesome.
Take it off the bucket list.
Tell everybody about the movie. That's all we ask.